What's up, tribe? Can you guys hear me? Hey, everybody. So first off, I want to say how you guys doing. Do not forget that tonight is the Whether You Like It or Not panel. It will be here, right here with us, tribe. So I need you guys to come on back through at 8:30 ish. Now it's gonna probably be closer to 8:30 than 8:30 ish because baby, I'm tired. Okay, I'm tired. But it'll be here tonight. So let me say hi to the people and then we will get this thing started. So hey, what's up, Lemon Kush? Hey, Nico, what's up, Amber? Hey, Yana, Belize, hey, my love, what's cross country? Hey, Budget and Ways, Corey, Tracy, Brandon, Trace, both my Tracy's here. Not I'm y'all already cutting up in the chat. Yep, speak on it is back up. Hey, what's up, Star? Hey, Tanya, what's going on, girl? Miss Bay Thing, Yana, Diamond Pearl. Hey, Diamond Pearl, how you doing? Hey. So look, y'all, we about to get into this speak on it. Now, let me tell y'all something. I have a lot of thoughts and they are all over the place. So let me come on and let's get this party started. What's up, Crispies? Hey. Let me come on in and let me tell the people what's going on. We got some stuff to get into. All right, we got some stuff to get into. Let me take this banner down so we can get started. Okay. Hey, everybody. Listen, I'm tired. When I tell you I'm woe out, when I tell you it's only the first day of school and I'm not mentally tired, I'm physically tired. Like, my day was cool as far as, doing what I got to do for my job. But baby, I walked so much today. I walked so much today. All right. And I'm going to say this and then we're going to get into this. This episode, this review is sponsored by Monopoly Go. Okay. Y'all know I'll be coming down here begging. But any donations that y'all do give during this particular live, whether it be through Cash App or Super Chat, baby, it will be going directly to my Monopoly Go addiction. I am taking this thing off my phone after today because it's a challenge I'm trying to get through. But baby, I have lost my mind with this game. And all of y'all that told me to start playing Monopoly Go, the hell with all of y'all, okay? Because y'all done got me addicted to this daggone game. So just know that all donations given today will be going towards my Monopoly Go addiction. And I am taking it off my phone after, when does this challenge end? Tomorrow. After tomorrow, I'm deleting this thing off my phone. And I'm serious. I'm going back to playing Phase 10. You know why? I don't spend no money on Phase 10. I play my Phase 10, and when I run out of lives, I close it and I go on to something else. But now Monopoly, it's got crack in it. I'm serious, it does. Girl, I know you're tired from Imperial Session. I know you are. So anyway, let's get into this. So y'all know Kandi has her speak on it, right? Y'all know Kandi does her speak on it. And Kandi has always said, exactly, El Teddy, listen, I started playing it while I was in Jamaica, and I should have known then that it was going to get me in trouble. So, but it's coming off my phone. After tomorrow, it is. I got to finish this challenge. Something in my spirit won't let me not finish this challenge. But after that, anyway. So, Kandi, y'all know Kandi has her speak on it, like I said. Now, Kandi has always said that speak on it is open to everybody, right? It is open to everybody. It's just that in most cases, the people that she usually don't rock with don't particularly want to go on the show for whatever reason. But if you look at the history of Speak On It, for the most part, everybody has been on Speak On It. Now, they might not be on Speak On It once they are no longer cool with Kandi. But Marlo's been on Speak On It, Cynthia, we know Kenya, Drew. Has Sonya, I don't know if Sonya's been on Speak On It. Not sure about Sheree. But the door is open, and Kandi has said that. I teach high school. Don't. Tracy, don't walk away. I'm telling you now. Let me be the example. Walk away from Monopoly Go. Don't do it. Don't even get started. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. Now, some people can walk away, and I thank God, but I'm not that strong. And Kandi has gotten a little bit of backlash for having Courtney on the show. Now, I did not watch the Speak on It in real time. I woke up this morning. Y'all know a lot of times I'll listen to that on my way to work or whatever. And then I saw Mims went live first thing this morning and was like, oh, Kandi took it down. And I was like, Kandi took it down? What is Kandi took it down? So Mims did his review based on his notes. But y'all know, if y'all go watch Mims Make It Make Sense, he'll normally play the soundbite as he goes through his review. So he couldn't play the soundbite because it was gone. So there was a whole conversation about why do we think they took it down. So by the time I got ready to come home from work, it was back up. So I listened to it on my way home. I read the comments. I listened to Mims' review. So I feel like I know what was taken out, and we're going to get to that. Because somebody was saying, oh, well, maybe she was talking about the past too much and they had to edit that. Nope. So let's get into my notes. Yana says she seemed like a real pick-me type chick. She's very messy. Don't waste your time. Really be going to fill you in. Yeah, I mean, you can go watch it if you want to. But first of all, like I always tell y'all, I watch it so y'all don't have to. Because when I tell you, first of all, her voice irritates my soul. Okay? That high-pitched, whiny-ass voice, I can't do it. I don't know how these people be doing it with these high-pitched, whiny-ass voices. I can't do it. Okay? So that's the first thing that I'm going to say is that her voice get on my nerves. And I know you can't control your voice. I know you can't. I know that you can't help what voice God blessed you with. I understand that. But I couldn't do that. Okay. Xavier said he's with Courtney on some things. Well, put it in the chat, Xavier. Put it in the chat. Now, let me read through this. I'm going to say this. Some of the things I read, people were kind of coming for Kandi like, why? I got another box today. Tracy, one of y'all remind me before I close it out, because I didn't open it yet. Somebody remind me before I close it out that I got a box when I got home, so I can open it up. Okay. I saw a lot of comments, and when I say a lot, it was a whole thread in Kandi's comments where people were kind of coming for Kandi and were like, how could she do that? Why would she allow that person to talk about Drew like that? And again, I don't have a defense one way or the other because I can't say, like, I don't know the level of Kandi's quote unquote friendship with Drew. Also, what's the difference? Like, I guess there's a line between someone is my friend and me doing my job with my platform. You understand what I'm saying? So, and Drew been shading Kandi the last couple of weeks because she mad about what Kandi said about her kissing the girl. So maybe Kandi was on some get back, which is another thing some people said, that maybe Kandi was on a little bit of get back. I know that the people who are not Kandi fans might feel like maybe she would do that, but I don't know. I don't know if Kandi's that petty. I don't think she's that petty, but some people may say she is. So anyway. So first thing, we found out a little bit about Courtney's background, which we didn't get to see. And it's funny because Courtney made a comment about we didn't get a chance to see a lot of that on the show, and she didn't really get a chance to showcase who she is and her job. Ma'am, you are a friend of the show. You're not part of the show. You're a friend of the show. You don't get a storyline. You get to show up, maybe stir up a little bit of trouble, but you don't get a storyline. Anyway. Do you have the key to the Jeep? I need to run an errand. No one cares about nobody cares about it. Drew literally brought up the whole grooming situation again. Drew was disrespectful to Kandi, her employer. She's unprofessional, rude, and pulls the same ish Ralph does. Well, now listen. Now I will say this. We know for a fact that well, I shouldn't say for a fact. In my opinion, let me not say for a fact. Let me rewind that. Let me be clear. Let me cleanse the palate. Cleanse the palate. I'm not saying I know for a fact. I'm saying in my opinion, Drew is a liar. Okay? That's my opinion. Although I think if I roll the beautiful being footage, I can find sometimes that Drew has lied. But just for the purposes of aesthetics. Okay. Oh, okay, because I was like, give me shelter. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, girl, but okay. Okay. But we found out that, and she is in crisis management. She does marketing and consulting and all that kind of stuff. She used to work for Clear Media. Then she branched out on her own. She started her own business. And she actually used to work with Simon Guobadia years ago, before Portia, before all of that. She used to work with Simon Guobadia, right? And help him run his businesses. Now, Mills did a whole deep dive. Well, it wasn't a deep dive, but he did a little research and found out, the different businesses that Simon does own. I know for a while it was out there that Simon really didn't have the money that he had. And I'm gonna be honest, I thought that it might have been a little bit of a shuffling game that he was doing, but it looks like he might really have, a little bit of coin. Not my business. He ain't spending it on me, so child, I don't care. It seems like she's Olivia Pope-ish. Okay, I ain't gonna say she's Olivia Pope, child. So we had to rehash this whole thing about her and Kandi in the beginning and why her and Kandi were Greek Sun says, I may be in the minority, but I feel that Courtney was telling the truth about Drew. A lot of what she, Kandi co-signed or didn't say, she was lying. Let me say this. This is my opinion. I don't necessarily feel like Courtney said stuff that wasn't necessarily true, but I do take issue with things that she said. But we'll get to that. Okay. Basically, it's and basically this whole her and Kandi situation is pretty much what I said when this whole thing went down, when people were like, Kandi doing too much, da 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 da. When and now that, and if you guys remember what Kenya said in her interview with Carlos, Kenya said that back in the day, women used to have to basically audition to be on the show. You filmed with the ladies first, and if there was chemistry, then you were offered the opportunity to be on the show. If there was no chemistry, it was like, thank you, but no thank you. And we've seen that in the past with different women who we might see them in one scene, or we might see them show up to one event, but they never actually make it on the show. Or we hear rumors that this person is joining and this person is joining the show, but they never actually join the show because they didn't get past that moment, right? They didn't have the chemistry. And so what happens now is they hire these women to be on the show, and a lot of times the ladies don't know them or don't know a lot about them. So what happened, the story, and both of them pretty much co-signed what happened. It's just that I think it was a game of telephone in the middle where people were repeating things and they were adding a little bit more stuff to the sauce or taking stuff away. But basically what happened was Kandi heard that Courtney was going to be on the show. And they asked Kandi, did she know her? And Kandi said, no, I don't know her. And she said, oh, well, she said that y'all run in the same circle. She said that she knows you. And Kandi was like, we don't run in the same circles. I've never met her. Now, Courtney's version of the story is, well, I have met you at a couple of parties and a couple of events, but I never said that we were friends. I did say that I had met you. Courtney's business partner, who we met, I think on that first or second episode, that's Courtney's business partner. Her and Kandi know each other, but Kandi doesn't know Courtney. And Courtney even said, well, yeah, I sort of play in the background. I let my business partner, I let her sort of stay on the front, and I sort of play in the background. So that's where that came from. The whole clout chasing thing was something that Kandi said somebody added that. Like, she never said that she was clout chasing. She never used that language. Somebody was clout chasing. And let me tell you something I don't like. Let me tell you something about people I don't like. I don't like people who always use alcohol as an excuse for bad behavior. And what I mean by that is, are there times when we get to drinking and maybe our mouths run a little bit too much, or our attitude is a little bit much, or our temper is a little short? Of course. We've all, I mean, for those of us who drink, alcohol hits people differently. Some people are happy drunks, some people are mean drunks, right? We've all had a reaction to having a little too much alcohol. But there are at least 3 occasions that I know of where Courtney blames her bad behavior on alcohol. So the first one in this interview was that night at Ross's party, where she kind of came at Kandi, because Kandi was like, "Look, you really did come at me that night. Like, you were turned up. Like, from when that conversation started, you were turned up. Well, I had been drinking. I probably was a little aggressive because I had been drinking." And she said that like 3 or 4 times. And my thing is, you drinking is not an excuse to act a damn fool. And I hate, especially adults like Courtney. You have a 25-year-old child, which means that you at least 55. You at least in your 50s. I mean, unless you had it when you were, a teenager, even then you in your late 40s. Okay. You're in your late 40s, mid 50s. At this point, you know what alcohol does to you. You should know your limits. Like I think I said this the other day. Like, I can't respect an old drunk. Like, you should not be in your 50s and 40s talking about oh man, I was drunk. Oh man. Because at this point, if you've been drinking since you were 21, most of us started drinking before we were 21, whether we were legal or not, you know what alcohol does. And at this point, you know your limit. Like, you know how many drinks you should have. You know what your body starts feeling like when you're doing too much. I know I do. I know how my body starts feeling when I've had too much to drink. Not even so much drunk. Just know, okay, it's time to stop. It's time to stop, right? We've been there and done that. Those days of us getting drunk and falling down and acting stupid, by the time we in our 40s and 50s, child, that should be over. That should be a wrap, okay? Um, but she kind of used that as her excuse as to why she was sort of being real aggressive and coming at Kandi. And then she gonna say, "Well, Kandi, I know now that that's just that you just make those faces, but you were kind of making those faces at me." And Kandi was like, "Yeah, because you was talking crazy." Like, everything still went back to her and the way she was talking. So yeah, okay, Kandi might have been giving you that resting bitch face, but it was for a reason. It was for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute. Sean said, "What I gather from Speak on It is that 3 things can be true. Courtney is mean, Drew is a liar, and Ralph is a liar and selfish." You better say that to the people in the back, Sean. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one, Sean. Because I walked away with all that. Here's the thing. I told y'all, and Courtney took my, Courtney, me and you think alike, because I say the same thing. Like, 2 things can be true. In this case, 3 things can be true. Ralph can be a liar, and so can Drew. If just because I think that Drew be gaslighting, that just because I think that Ralph gaslights Drew does not mean that I think Drew is an angel and she has not contributed to the demise of her relationship at all. At all. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, so basically they spoke on that. And they agreed that, pretty much it was what it was. Kandi has also said that at the beginning of the season, she was already, in a space because of what happened with filming, R&B Divas, and she's spoken on that as well, right? Yeah, and they can be. That's why I agree. I think both of them are liars. I do, my opinion. Oh, Green Girl said that fake Valley Girl accent was too much. Honey, too much. All right. So I'm sorry. Okay. worked with Sermon. Okay. Now let's talk about this whole thing with her and Bryce. Bryce is her baby daddy who used to be in Groove Theory, and he was in the movie Twa with Kenya. She said that because Kandi brought up the fact that she didn't show any like current relationships, right? And she said that she felt like it was valid that she brought Bryce around because they are currently co-parenting, and it's important. She felt like that was an important thing that's a part of her life to show. Baby, her daughter is 25 years old. Listen, at 25 years old, I don't think co-parenting is the word. Now, I understand I don't have no children. I got it. But I don't know if co-parenting is still the correct term to use at 25. You brought Bryce on the show because you was flexing because your baby daddy was a former, celebrity. And I say former only because I ain't seen Bryce in 20 years. And that's no disrespect to Bryce. You might be choosing to live your life quiet and by yourself. I don't know. But you brought Bryce every opportunity that you could to show Bryce. You brought him to the brunch. Bryce didn't need to be at that brunch. What they got to do with co-parenting? I could see if we saw Bryce in a scene where y'all were talking about your daughter. First of all, let me rewind a little bit. Your daughter is 25 years old, and according to you, she is working on her 3rd degree. Now, what's funny is when I heard 3rd degree, my first question was, does she have a job or is she just a professional student? Because I'm not taking nothing away from having 3 degrees. I have 3 degrees, but I worked through 2 of those degrees. And when Kandi brought up, because Kandi even said it, Kandi was like, I don't think you co-parenting at 25. And she was like, if we're paying for school and we're paying for her apartment, oh, so you're controlling her. Because that's what I heard. Because you pay for her apartment and because you're paying her tuition, then you feel like you have a right to control her life because she's still 25. Now, Bryce dated Tony Braxton before Carrie Lewis. Child. No man, no home, no sense, no up. You know, I'm not doing this with you, Mims. I ain't doing this with you, Mims. But you brought Bryce on there because you was flexing because you thought somebody was gonna be impressed. And again, this is no disrespect to you, Bryce, because I didn't even know who you were, sir. Because I didn't remember you from the videos and all of that. I didn't. When I think of Twa, only person I think of Twa is Gary Durand and Kenya Moore. I don't even be thinking about none of these other people that was in Twa. Now, it's been a long time since I done watched it. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, you really, that's all that was. Because we saw Bryce 3 different times, and in all 3 times, you really thought you was flexing with him. That it had, none of those instances had anything to do with co-parenting. Nothing. You would have been better off having Bryce show up at your house and y'all FaceTime your daughter and talk to her about her budget or graduation or what are her plans. I could see then I'd be like, oh yeah, they got a professional student and they need to let her know that the real world is out there waiting for her. Because what's up, everybody coming in? Hey, Jonathan. Hey, everybody coming in. Because the question that I have is she working while she getting this 3rd degree? And what are the first 2 degrees in? And that, that's the first thing I heard in my head. That's the first thing I heard in my head. Because at 25 years old, you're paying her tuition and her apartment. She got 2 whole degrees. She can't find a job doing nothing. And Syracuse is upstate New York. Syracuse is not Manhattan. She can find a decent apartment in Syracuse. But anyway, that ain't my business. But again, what you're not going to do is play in my face. Y'all know how I feel about that. You're not going to piss on my leg and tell me that it's raining. Okay? You brought Bryce on there to flex. And you thought somebody was going to be impressed, and none of us were. Okay? None of us were. All right. Then we get to this whole thing with her and Ralph. They cousin-in-laws. Now, let me be clear. I really don't care about whether they're cousin-in-laws, What's up, J-Dub? What's going on? I really don't care nothing about them being cousin-in-laws. I don't care if they cousin-in-laws. I don't care if they cousins twice removed. I don't really care about none of that. And I honestly don't have a problem with the fact that they found out they had a familial connection and decided to become friends. I don't have any issues with that. But let me say this. I said it last night and I'm going to say it again. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? I said it last night and I'm going to say it again. I don't necessarily believe that story. Hey, Don Don. Don't be surprised. Now, I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But I'm saying don't be surprised if we get a Portia, Simon, Gabadia, Fallon situation. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying that's what it is. I'm just saying don't be surprised if that's what happened. I ain't saying that's what it is. Mims, what you say? Hold on. Mims say, I'm going to stop commenting and really be scared of my mouth. You supposed to stand 10 toes down for your real homies. Stand with me like Courtney stands by her man. I mean, cousin. Mims, I read most of your comments. I do. Ain't nobody fooling with Mims. All I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised if we find out down the road that she was providing comfort to Ralph during his time of need. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't necessarily believe this cousin story. I just don't. It didn't seem authentic in real time. It really didn't seem authentic in real time. And I'm just not convinced. I'm just not convinced. And I could be wrong because, listen, Lord knows I don't know nothing. But I'm just not convinced. Okay? But they supposed to be cousin-in-laws. And something that she said, first of all, she said that Ralph warned her about Drew. Ralph told her that Drew was a liar and warned her about Drew. So you mean to tell me that Ralph, this man that you just met, I don't give a damn if y'all's grandmothers was blood sisters. If y'all didn't know each other prior to filming this show, a man that you never met pulled you to the side and said, watch your back with my wife. Now, out of all the women on the show that got shit with them, he didn't tell you watch your back with Kenya, Marlo, Kandi. He didn't tell you watch your back with Sheree. He said watch your back with my wife. Because she's a liar. And that didn't make you side-eye. Because let me tell you something. If I meet a man for the first time, I don't give a damn if, like I said, if our grandmothers were sisters. If I don't know you, I don't know you. And you're going to pull me aside and the first thing you do is talk shit about your wife, I got to question you now. Now I got to side-eye you because you mean to tell me the woman that you've been living with for the last 10 years, the woman you have a child with, the woman that you are quote-unquote supposed to, till death do us part, you going to pull me aside and tell me watch your back with my wife because she's a liar? Let me tell you what Ralph couldn't do after that. Ralph could never have another conversation with me. Ralph could never have another conversation with me because now I'm side-eyeing you. Because I don't care what the hell you and Drew got going on in y'all house. Why would you pull me aside and give me any sort of insight on what y'all got going on in y'all house? I'm side-eyeing you now. There's nothing else you can say to me after that. But the rest of this interview, every time Courtney spoke on anything dealing with Drew, it was Ralph said, Ralph told me. Well, Ralph said, Ralph, 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 Ralph. Why are you talking that much to that woman's husband? Again, I don't give a damn about this newfound cousin shit. Why are you talking to that woman's husband that much? You don't know him. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna have those type of repeated. Now listen, that's if I believe her. I'm just walking down this road. I'm just going with her version of the story. I already told y'all I don't believe this, right? I don't believe that's how these conversations happen. But I'm just walking down this road. I'm walking down this yellow brick road with Courtney. I'm just acting like I believe that you just met Ralph when y'all started filming this show, found out that y'all was cousins. So from that point on, you had these type of intimate conversations to where this man is telling you all him and his wife's business. This woman sat there. She said it last night on the hot mic, and she said it again with Kandi, that she has seen Ralph's discovery in his divorce, and he's got all of this evidence against Drew. Why would you know that? Why would he trust you enough to tell you anything about what he has going on with his attorneys and his divorce? Thank you, Phil. Really be you preaching today. Red flag route. Yes. And again, I wouldn't even be comfortable having those conversations with him. I thank you for the super chat, sweetheart. I wouldn't even feel comfortable. I'm not talking to another woman's husband like that. I'm not talking to another woman's husband like that. Ain't no way in hell. So Ralph told you, be careful with my wife because she's a liar. She's been doing it to me for the last 8 years. So now I got to question you, Ralph. Why the hell you staying married to a woman that's been lying on you and to you, y'all whole marriage? Because hell, y'all ain't been married but 9 years. I mean, y'all dated for a couple of years before y'all got married. So you mean to tell me that the entirety of y'all's marriage, Drew been a liar? Now again, we know we done caught Drew in some lies. We know we done caught Drew in some lies. Okay. But baby, I said, oh hell no. Okay. So let me get back to my notes, child. I went left, child. I went left. I went left. Oh shoot. I'm sorry. Hold on, y'all. Give me a quick second. Give me a quick second. Let me get back to my notes, child. Let me get back to my notes. He don't even like them. Not the whole cousin thing is weird, child. Yes, the whole cousin thing is weird. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta do this real quick. So anyway, let me get back to my notes. Ralph didn't stay for the kids. He stayed for the paycheck. But child. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. Hold on. I got distracted. I had to do something real quick. Okay. Let me get back to my notes. Okay. So she said that her and Ralph have built a genuine relationship. She said that she's been a better friend to Ralph in these past 6 months than Drew has in the last 8 years. Bitch, let me tell you something. If I'm Drew, the next time I see Courtney, it's on site. I'm sorry. Drew always talking about how she from Detroit and she don't play that. And she from Detroit. I don't give a damn if you about to divorce that man. I don't give a damn if you was having a whole affair with Ty and anybody else. Baby, the next time I see her, it's on site. You said that you were a better friend to my husband in the past 6 months than I've been to him in the past 8 years. You don't even know me, ma'am. You don't know nothing about our marriage, our relationship, our friendship, our courtship, none of it. For you to make any sort of agreement or understanding about my marriage and what I have or have not been to that man. Oh, she from Chicago. My bad. I said Detroit. My bad, Chicago. One of them damn cities, Chicago. But you always talking about how hood you are and you from Chicago. Girl, next time you see Courtney, it's supposed to be on site. And I know that I shouldn't be saying that because we grown and we should be able to control our emotions. And you are absolutely correct. But sometimes a bitch be just trying. Sometimes a bitch be just trying. You know what? This is what I am going to say. This is what I am going to say. And I know y'all going to say, I'm just defending Kandi. I am going to say this. That interview was cut up and edited like hell. You could tell it was cut up. It was so edited. And I'm not saying Kandi did, because I don't think Kandi defended Drew. Let me be clear. I don't think Kandi defended Drew, but I also feel like there are things that we didn't see. We know that they took the video down and they took stuff out before they put it back up. And I'm gonna tell you what was I know at least one thing that was taken out, and we're gonna get to that in a minute. But I know at least one thing that was taken out. But it was edited a lot. It was edited a lot. Again, I'm not saying that Kandi defended Drew because I don't think she did. I don't think she did. But I think she did that for a couple of reasons. I said at the beginning of this video, Kandi and Drew are beefing. So maybe she don't feel like she need to be defending Drew. Kandi and Drew right now are not in a good place, I don't feel like. Drew shaded the movie. Drew called Kandi a liar. Drew and Kandi got into it at the reunion. And I mean, maybe that's just where Kandi is with it. And again, I'm not defending it. I'm just saying I feel like that's what it is. I'm just saying I just think that's what it is. But anyway, Courtney was spilling all the tea, child. She kept trying to blame it on the alcohol, honey. But anyway, she alluded to she alluded to Drew and Ralph's relationship, marriage not being traditional. Now, she backed up off of it when Kandi pressed her. What do you mean by not traditional? And I'm gonna be honest with you, the way Kandi said it, I feel like Kandi already knew. She was like, well, what do you mean by traditional? I feel like Kandi knew the answer. She just wanted Courtney to say it. Now, Courtney didn't come right out and say it, but rumors have been out there that Ralph and Drew have engaged in threesomes and things like that. Drew's ex assistant said that they met at a swingers club out in LA. Now, I don't believe nothing that ex assistant says either, but he did say that. So I don't know. Courtney was alluding to it. So there was that, child. There was that. Okay, I just told y'all all this stuff about Ralph, about her saying that Drew is a liar and that Ralph told her all the tea. She said Ralph has told her a lot of tea and stuff that she won't say. She got all the tea, child. Is what she trying to say. She got all the tea, child. Um Kandi dropped the receipt that proved that Drew had admitted to kissing a girl. She said that after the reunion, she got a bunch of other receipts to drop because I guess some things that came out at the reunion. But she absolutely played the clip back of Drew admitting that she has kissed a girl before. And Kandi's thing is people keep getting caught up on the night at the bachelorette party. She said, but if you go back to that video, the argument between me and Drew started because I said Drew's kissed a girl before, and Drew said I didn't. Then we went off on the whole Bolo thing, but the original argument started because I said you kissed a girl before, and so Drew actually absolutely said it at the reunion, that dungeon reunion, that horrible reunion, that dungeon reunion. She admitted that she had actually kissed a girl. So anyway, she played that clip several times. Okay, my bad. Well, oh well. Then they brought up this whole thing about the chef. And again, this is the shit that I'm talking about when we talk about Ralph. Now, she said that she called Courtney. Courtney said that she called Ralph and told Ralph, just pay that chef. I mean, it's only $1,000. Just pay the chef. And Ralph allegedly said to Courtney, that's what I told Drew, but she don't want to pay it. She don't want to pay it. But we got a whole scene with Ralph at the retreat talking to the fellas, talking about why they not paying that woman and why they taking her to court and how that woman is lying on them. Because here's the thing, Ralph, guess what? If you really wanted to pay that woman, you could have sent that woman that money. You didn't have to wait for Drew to do it. Like, again, we're talking about $1,000. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that like $1,000 ain't shit, but for them, it shouldn't be a big deal, right? Y'all living in that, whatever. You should be able to, cash out that woman that $1,000 and move the hell on if you really wanted to do it. So don't sit. So again, that's the kind of stuff that I mean when I say, Ralph, we sat there and saw you have a whole conversation with the guys, because remember that's what the guys said to him. Heath, Mayetta's husband, and Todd was like, man, why you don't just go ahead and pay that lady her money? Like, it really ain't a good look that you got this woman suing y'all for $1,000. Like, just pay that woman. He was the one explaining, oh man, Nosh, because she's lying and she's this and she's doing this and she's doing that. But again, Courtney, you up here caping for him. You caping for him. Okay? Exactly. He's in tech, so he should be making good money. Right. I mean, again, you should be able to cash out that lady $1,000. But again, Courtney made it seem like, I'm sorry, my phone keep going off, y'all. My bad. He doesn't need, like, you're caping for something that's not necessary. Okay. Courtney said that Drew plays victim to create a storyline to make Ralph look bad. She said that Ralph explained to her what happened with Tampa, and that basically Ralph has been ready to divorce Drew ever since, like, even before the Tampa situation. He's been ready to divorce Drew. Again, I feel like this man is telling too much of his business to this woman that he just met. I don't give a damn what y'all call each other. I don't give a damn what type of cousins y'all call each other. unless it's kissing cousins, ain't nowhere in the world that he's supposed to be telling that business. Right. And if Rob wanted to file for divorce, he should have filed for divorce. He should have filed for divorce. Thank you, Caribbean girl. Thank you, everybody, about the likes. Yes, it's 2:35 in the room. If you guys can hit the like button, I really appreciate that. Now, I'm going to be honest. Do I think that Ralph wants to be married to Drew? I don't get the impression that Ralph particularly cares about Drew like that. I mean, honestly, I don't. I don't get get that impression that they are happily in love and all of that. Honestly, I don't. If I'm being real, I'm being real. No, I don't. But at the end of the day, though, if you want to divorce that woman, divorce that woman. The show ain't stopping you. Like the kid ain't stopping. Like if you want to divorce that woman, divorce that woman. But I agree. I don't think Ralph really likes Drew that much. I don't. Whatever his reason is for staying, that's his business. But baby, I don't get the impression that he loved her all like that. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm on the outside looking in. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he ain't got no money. I don't know. Kandi gave her an opportunity to clean up the Kenya karma situation. And she doubled down and was like, well, that is her karma. She's a mean girl and she got what she deserved. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think Kenya can be very mean girl, but she wasn't mean girl to you. She didn't do nothing to you. Only thing Courtney did to you, at least on camera, was when she told you to stay out her personal space and don't touch her. That's it on camera. Now I don't know what might have happened behind the scenes, but on camera, that's all she told you. Phil said, "Why are we talking about their marriage on Speak on It? Stay out of people's affairs, marriages, and bedrooms. What you do is your business. Kandi is messy." Ooh. And that's when Kandi is getting a lot of blowback because the people are saying that Kandi should have stopped Courtney. Like there were certain things that Kandi should not have allowed Courtney to say. If you read the comments, that's what a lot of people are saying in Kandi's comments. That they felt like Kandi shouldn't have let Courtney say the things that she was saying. Right. I think Courtney is a mean girl. I think everything in this interview shows Courtney to be a mean girl, in my opinion. Now, here's the thing. Again, there might have been more that was edited out, but let me tell you what I absolutely know that was edited out. Courtney said some very mean things about Drew's sister, Allison, as it relates to Allison's mental health, as it relates to her drinking, and even questioning whether Allison actually really legitimately had mental health issues. She talked about the fact that Allison was drinking tequila, and why would she be drinking if she really truly has mental health issues? She shouldn't be drinking if she, has these mental health issues, and really questioning whether those issues are valid. First of all, let me say this. Just because Allison suffers from mental health doesn't mean she's on medication. There are a lot of people that take holistic approaches. There are a lot of people that can manage what they have going on with therapy, with other types of holistic things. That's number one. So you don't even know if this woman is taking any medication unless Ralph told you, which he probably did. Number two, even if this woman was drinking alcohol and she's on meds, which we know she should not be doing, baby, people do it all the time. People take all kinds of meds and drink alcohol when they ain't supposed to. And I'm not saying that makes it okay, but for you to question whether this woman really has mental health issues because she was drinking alcohol, I think that says a whole lot about your lack of character. And I think that is very, I'm trying to not curse and go all, because I really want to cuss her ass out, because I think that is the lowest of the low. I think that is some scum-like behavior. I think that puts you on a level of horrible human being that I don't even want to think about. Like, I really think that puts you in a real fucked up place, that you would sit there and question this woman's mental health after she had the courage to share her story on national television in front of all of these people. Stuff that she never even told her family until it got that bad. We could see that this woman was processing and still dealing with all the things that she went through. And she told her story. And for you to throw that back at her, I think is just fucking despicable. And I am going to, and for all y'all that say I'm always defending Kandi, the fact that Kandi had it in there and other people had to tell her to take it out for her to, again, assuming that's what happened, for her to take it out. Like, I don't understand why you didn't realize that that was going too far. You know, I don't know. I agree to Ellis's. I agree. Mental illness doesn't have a look, but there are behaviors related to mental health issues, OCD, bipolar depression, etc. But the looks bothered me. Right. You know, when people say, "Oh, she didn't even look like it," or "She didn't even look like it," like, what does that even mean? And again, just because you have a mental, this woman said that she went through a mental break and she was in the hospital and everything during the Roni Round, and that she's worked her way back. Who's to say that she's even on any type of heavy meds? We don't know. Right. She mentioned it several times that they were drinking that tequila. And again, I just feel like that's some low shit. Because I feel like you're trying to throw that out there, and you want to put a certain insinuation out there. And I just think that's some low shit. I just do. Right. She had a mental break. It doesn't mean she's on medication. Absolutely. Mental health is not one dimensional. It doesn't look like the same thing for everybody. There's some people who take, and guess what? Not only are there people who take meds, but guess what? Just like with everything else, it is recalibrated, and you can take med, and people can come off of medication. People's medication can become heavier or lower. It's just like anything else. When your doctor puts you on meds, that he or she is supposed to check and make sure that you still need it, to see if you can lessen it or drop it altogether. Jamie does the poster for Kandi. That's why Kandi said she wouldn't say that. Kandi said because she was always so happy and together is why she was shocked by her reveal of mental health problems. Yeah. Allison was traumatized by DV. Holding that against her was disgusting. I think it was. I think that, and the comment she made about Kenya, I think was disgusting as well. Again, whether you like Kenya or not, for somebody to be like, "Oh, well, that was her karma," her falling on her ass was her karma. I'll be honest with you. If Marlo had said it, I wouldn't even been as mad, because Marlo and Kenya have tussled. Marlo and Kenya have gone there with each other. But what have we seen that Kenya did to her? What have we seen that Kenya really actually did to this woman? We haven't seen Kenya do nothing to this woman. Exactly, Leo. Leo said, I take meds. It's not the same for everyone. Exactly. Exactly. Jamie says, so much for the faux sisterhood y'all always bragging about. They backstab each other all the time. Well, let me tell you something. I know they ain't I know YouTube. Listen, I keep telling y'all YouTube don't like me. I don't know what else y'all want me to say. My notifications go out when they feel like it. That's why the likes are important, because it helps send out more notifications. So I'm sorry that you just getting a notification, boo. See, again, Greek son, somebody having mental issues doesn't have anything to do with that. You said, should Drew's sister be on the show in volatile scenes if she has mental health issues? What does one have anything to do with the other? And I don't feel like her sister was involved in any volatile situations. She was defending her sister. She was defending her sister. I don't feel like her sister was involved in any volatile situations. Maybe my idea of volatile, your idea of volatile is different. Right. Yeah, that's just not how, yeah, exactly. Phil. And Phil is a mental health expert. He's shared that. I mean, he ain't told us all, but we know he's a mental health expert. That's just not how mental health works. Yeah, that's not how it works. Many people struggle with their mental health. It's a right. It is a spectrum. Absolutely, it is a spectrum. Yep, it's a spectrum. Honestly, y'all, this interview, I have mixed feelings about this interview. I have mixed feelings about this interview, and I'm gonna tell you why. On one hand, I 100% understand why Kandi had Courtney. I don't have an issue with Kandi having Courtney on the show. I don't. I do not have an issue with that at all. Kandi has opened that platform up to everybody, whether they get along or not. She has given everybody the opportunity to come on the show and speak on it. So that I don't have a problem with. On one hand, do I feel like maybe Kandi could have defended certain things that people are criticizing her for? Maybe. I feel like she tried to give Courtney the opportunity to back up off of what she said about Kenya. But then I look at it from the flip side, and I say, Kandi in that capacity is not, it's kind of like when Wendy Williams used to tell people that she don't really have a lot of friends in the industry because her job is to report on the industry. And so I feel like in that moment, Kandi's job on Speak On It is to interview people on Speak On It and not necessarily play the role of, well, that's my friend, you can't say that. Well, that's my friend, Now some stuff I think is just about in taste and not taste. But then I thought about this, y'all. Walk with me down this road, y'all. Come on, get on the road with me and walk with me down this road. Walk with me down this road. What if Kandi was allowing Courtney to show her true colors to everybody as a way to expose Courtney? Now, we know Kandi can't really stop Courtney from coming back on the show. I mean, if Kandi really want to flex, she could. But Kandi also knows that she don't need to use up all her good favors on stuff like that. Like, it's not necessary for her to use up her favors down to the Bravo on Courtney. It ain't that serious. But she can use her platform to expose Miss Courtney. I'm just saying. That's a stretch. That's a stretch. Quay said that's a stretch. Brandon said I was thinking it. Oh, Mia say bullseye. Bullseye. I'm just saying, y'all, if I have a platform, and I know who this person is behind, because let's be clear, Kandi know who Courtney is. They've been filming together. It's a lot of off-camera stuff. She know her for her works. Kandi probably know if I let her talk long enough, she gonna tell it. If I let her talk long enough, she gonna tell it. And I'm not saying that's what Kandi did. I'm saying these are all the things that went on in my head, y'all, because I really was all over the place with this. Like I said, I have no issues with Kandi having Courtney on there. I don't have no issues with that. None. But I do understand people who are criticizing Kandi about not checking Courtney about certain things. I absolutely understand the criticism. But then there's another side of me that was like, hell, maybe that's what Kandi wanted. Maybe that's what Kandi was like, I'm going to give you all of this. I'm going to give you space and opportunity. And then let everybody draw their own conclusion. I'm just saying. And that's just my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that I think I'm right. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I'm not saying that I think I'm right, y'all. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Courtney said the same things on that other podcast. This gives Courtney validity. Okay. It's hard to go Lord and Phaedra. Ooh. That seems bad to set someone up. But I don't feel like, but she's not setting her up. Kandi ain't set that woman up. That woman was talking. That woman was volunteering that information. Kandi ain't, I don't feel like a lot of that stuff, I don't feel like Kandi set her up. I don't feel like Kandi set her up. No, to Ellis's, a lot of people didn't. A lot of people felt like Kandi was doing too much and Kandi was coming on her and this, and this, and this, and that, child. I don't know about that. But the thing about these shows, one thing I've learned about these ensemble shows, you guys, everybody got fans. Everybody has fans. Even the people that you think are probably the most despicable, nasty, rude, disrespect, all the words y'all want to come up with, everybody got fans. Now, that's the one thing that I learned. Because sometimes y'all be on here defending people, and I be like, are we looking at the same show? But people like who they like. Hell, look at Jonathan. People like who they like. And everybody has fans. So, when you say, well, we all saw Courtney for who she was, everybody didn't see Courtney for who she was. There were people who felt like Kandi was treated Courtney wrong. So, I'm going to go ahead and get off so I can cook me some dinner real quick before the Whether You Like It or Not panel starts. We are starting at 8:30-ish. Meet me back here, you guys, at 8:30. And I appreciate y'all. I'm going to get out of here. I got to find me something for dinner real quick, child. I'll talk to y'all later. Mwah! Peace.